Okay, well, I'd like to declare a total and utter CHUD victory over Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, I have argued with innumerable idiots online defending this game. People who are seemingly woke-tards at their absolute core. Now, the reason the game failed is obvious to everybody, but nobody wants to say it. But the recent news that they had canceled some of the DLC is the absolute slam dunk in the hole, and they still won't admit that there's a problem. Now, everyone knows that Assassin's Creed Shadows was supposed to be the greatest achievement in Assassin's Creed history, but somehow languished, mere meager successes here and there, but ultimately a complete and utter failure. it just absolutely shit the bed. Now let's check into the player numbers here, because I've always said, and I just made a video about Assassin's Creed Shadows the other day, but screw it, let's make another one here. Yeah, okay, so here we go. So Shadows. When you put this into perspective, when you study the numbers, this is insane. Especially after they just released that like Attack on Titan retarded DLC that I just started talking about. But this was very interesting how they did this, because I mean, look at that. They released a brand new DLC and nobody even gave a shit. Like, does that not indicate that only the shillest of shills play this game? The foolish of fools? Completely and utterly demolished. Now let's look at the actual news itself here. Ubisoft has confirmed it no longer plans to launch second major Assassin's Creed expansion, something is previously had formed the game's now season pass. So I was trying to figure this out online, and this is the stupidest thing ever, because it's like, well, if you paid for the season pass and you don't get the DLC, like, do you like what is that all about? So let's look at this. So of course this was big news on Twitter. Now, like I said, just because they announced that this has been canceled, the shills are never going to admit defeat. This game could have sold one copy and they would still come up with some way. Well, it actually sold really good because one person dedicated their time to a legendary series. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Assassin's Creed Shadows is an utter failure. And they know it, now we know it. So this was the big post that struck me. I couldn't believe it when I saw this. I was like, we won? I was like, we won? Like, you can ask AI, you can ask industry experts all day long, but ultimately how this could never indicate that this game didn't do as well, and they're like, pull the plug, cut it. It's so obvious that this game failed. The Yasuke thing was too controversial. Let's read some of these good Assassin's Creed, but set in space. So this is a bit of a meme review, because we're clowning these fucks for destroying what could have been an amazing entry into Assassin's Creed Shadows. What happened? You were so convinced you were so convinced it was a huge success. People seem to like that Mirage game. They're like, yeah, sure. I mean, if it's a generic Assassin's Creed game, I'm sure it's fine. But see, the thing is that most people just didn't want the inclusion of Yasuke, and the whole thing made them uncomfortable. That picture, man. You know the people that worked on this. You knew the people behind this whole idea. You knew what this is what they want. They want that weird wokeness. It's kind of a little gay. It's just too much. It's too much. Picture. Another ad AI picture. Oh, Tom Cruise. Oh my God. It's okay, guys. We still got the skibbity toilet fight we wanted. It's best. So, I mean, this is kind of a post-mortem of Assassin's Creed Shadows, because Oh, we're not done with Yote, trust me. We're on the it was a major success side of the wheel of it was great, it was amazing, performed better than expected, major success. It didn't perform up to what we expected. Major studio layoffs. The game actually tanked. And now we're starting to get to the phase with Assassin's Creed Shadows where we're starting to get to the phase where you're going to get YouTube videos where they're like an hour in depth, the gamer, type episodes where it's like Assassin's Creed Shadows was penned as a major entry into the Assassin's Creed Shadows, but it quickly went wrong and blah 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 blah. A shame, really. It is unbelievable how much I would have been interested in it if it didn't have Yasuke in it. The sheerness of this wokeness stuff, it just ruins games. Oh no, anyway. Good. Yes. Donald Glover. Exactly. Good. And you can say what you want about the wokeness stuff, but that's good too. It's just it's so awkward what they did with Yasuke. And it's just you don't even want to be around. You don't want to. We did it, boys. Fuck these libtards. It just like you cannot peg a game like this overperformed. Good, let it die. You can see the animosity people have towards it, and you know any other like if this was the indiest of indie game, 4.3 million sales would have been great. But I mean, this was supposed to be one of the biggest gaming achievements in history. You go back to the very first Assassin's Creed game that you played for the Xbox 360, Assassin's Creed 1, just called Assassin's Creed. People were already thinking back then. They were like, "Well, fuck, wouldn't this be sweet?" And like as a ninja in feudal Japan, they should have just made two ninja characters, a Japanese guy, and potentially cherry picked some obscure assassin guy. Yasuke can't even do like the stealth shit. I'm pretty sure he's just like a samurai dude running around who's super big and falls over and shit. Like, what the hell were they thinking with this? And now they're gonna go press Black Flag button, remake Black Flag because they know that that's gonna sell like. I mean, it better sell good. They knew they were gonna switch the story around, and trust me, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is set in the Caribbean, so that naturally would have had African characters as well, at a sensitive time period. So they can work that story a bit, and there is realistically, characters with darker skin back then, and it's a perfect setting for them. But let's just see what they do with Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake because Ubisoft. Ubisoft are so good at screwing shit up that are aces in the hole. I mean, look at Skull and Bones. That should have been that was the easiest thing ever to make, and they still fucked it up. It's just like this. It's like this. If you would have had a Japanese male and a Japanese female that wasn't just like some like Naoe just seems like a complete empty character. She has no personality, no nothing. She doesn't even look Japanese. I've said this many times. She does not look Japanese. It's so weird. She looks like Erika Ishii, like an Americanized Japanese woman. She doesn't. Look at that. Look at this. Japanese. I've said this a few times. I've shown this many times. Yeah, there we go. It's like they couldn't extrude the features on her, so they just didn't. See, that would have looked Japanese, and then it's like she looks like a California art student with zero personality, and spends all her money on mocha teas or something, and has free this like 50 flags in her bio. She just looks like that type of person. They made her so shallow and empty as a character, much like the same way Erika Ishii was like that. People are criticizing this DLC, but this DLC, this was probably already earmarked in some type of signed agreement, and they just shat it out and then released this news just as a fucking nail in the coffin. It's over. We've fought so hard for this. This has been going on since almost a year. The CHUD said that this game wasn't going to do well. It didn't do well. People said, oh, the CHUD's wrong, fuck them, and then blah, blah, blah. It just keeps going on, and then we're finally at the dead point. So much for the game. Yeah. And the stupid thing is you will still not convince these people. You will still, how is this going to go on the Switch too? Even if it looks like this is the last thing I would ever want to play on my freaking Switch too. It's such a non-Switch game. It wouldn't even feel, even if it ran okay, it wouldn't even feel at home on it. You still got the shills shilling for it. They're still gonna now they're gonna be like, well, now it's gonna sell so much because it's on the Switch. It's over. Yeah, see, look, they're pull the Switch button. That's a good one. Yeah, no, now they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, he's just gonna, oh, now they're gonna be like, oh, now it's on the Switch. Look how successful it is. But this is like the nuke. This is the nuclear bomb. Let's look at the Reddit one. Ubisoft no longer plans to release second Assassin's Creed expansion. There's no way you could read that headline and not think it's an utterly abysmal fail. Reading this article, I know, shocking. Ubisoft isn't coming this year. The rest of the speculation, well, why would you wait for? You see, they're already trying. They're already trying. Look at this. Look at this Reddit comment. So was Assassin's Creed Shadows a success or not? My impression is that it was. No, that's because you want it to be. This is the type of person who posts a dumb comment on the internet, just thinking that what they want to be true will be true. So was Assassin's Creed comment a success or not? My impression is that it was, but they kind of dodged talking about the sales report and didn't inspire confidence. It's almost impossible to get a serious answer. Well, if it was a success, you would have heard about it. It would have shared the numbers. They would have done this. They would have done that. Oh yeah, yeah. It loomed in shadows in Valhalla's success. Oh yeah, completely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the cope, the sheer cope of people online when they ask. The truth of the matter is, if you wokeify something, it's gonna just destroy it, and we know it. We have the data. There are rare examples like Baldur's Gate and Hogwarts Legacy that pop in and pop out, and are just there. They're not overly awful examples of wokeness, but anytime there is an awful example of wokeness, it is almost guaranteed it just fails. Reddit is a bizarre place, and you're gonna get a lot of cope in here. Oops. Person's comment thread. Ubisoft is done for if they're already wrapping this up. This is with their ace in the hole setting. The one people have been begging for years. Then Ghost of Tsushima followed by you come and eat their lunch. Really think their story, characters, aspect hurt this game. Oh, and then look at the negatives. Of course. See, when you're in Reddit, when people speak the truth, they get downvoted. That's just how Reddit is. If you speak the truth and it's against the Reddit hive mind, they're going to attack you. Valhalla massively outsold Tsushima. I haven't ever seen it. Did it? Yeah, I think it sold 20 million, and then Tsushima was like 11 million or something. I don't know. But anyways, at any rate, this should have sold like 30 million copies, and it's at 4.3 million, I think, potentially. Maybe not more. That doesn't even cover the catering costs of of uh, of all the studios of Ubisoft. To me, it seems pretty clear Ubisoft is trying to return their franchise to the yearly releases and doesn't really want to work on the year two part. They'll potentially have Black Flag Remake and Hex out next year. They might slip into 27, but still make Shadow of the Commandment seems futile. So this is the win we've been waiting for. We knew for a while this was like this, but this is the final ace in the hole. We've beaten Shadows. It's over. Canceling a DLC, planned a DLC, potentially screwing people over that has that. Ooh, you know where we could look? Let's look at the discussion page. Let's see what the Steam discussion pages think. And I like to see like kind of over everywhere. Let's see if we can bring this up though, because I want to wreck this video. It's such a game. It's such if ever there was a game that exemplified how modern shit just is with these games, it's like this is the rule. Why did they cancel the second expansion? There's no way to treat your game cleanly to part. Look at the cope. They are angry. These people are going to be so angry about this. This is no way to treat a game that's completely topped the charts of Ubisoft. Please don't let this amazing game end this story note of future consisting of a bunch of drip-fed small content updates and microtransaction stores. Give the second expansion you guys promised you'd make. Yeah, yeah, you let the Chuds win. Yeah, the Chuds won hardcore with this one. You done fucked it up. That's hilarious. Honest question: what charts did it topple? Honest and like this is gonna be a battleground here today. Here's another one. So what? What now? How's the state of game as of today? Attack on Titan rumors have got to be a joke, right? Right? Stinks, but oh well. They're still doing smaller updates. Hope they include Yokai or Japanese mess. They're too busy copy striking criticism of the slop copy. I put up a video the other day about this. I was like, like what the hell are we doing? Can you not talk about games anymore? They're gonna strike my fucking channel with, talking bad about Shadows. But my channel is so goddamn small. I doubt they would even fucking notice. One day, Ubisoft. One day, I'll be your number one critic, and I'll do a retrospective on why Shadows failed. I wonder why did Shadows fail? Could it have something to do with the completely unnecessarily and unwanted by the gaming community at large, just inserted a random black dude in there just because, I don't know. It'd be the nice thing to do to underrepresented groups in the gaming industry. Maybe. Potentially, maybe that has something to do with it. Never know. People complaining about the game pre-ordered this game. Sasuke is a part of Japanese culture. When was this? Like when the first January 26th? Jesus, that was a year ago, almost a year ago, bros. How time flies. Can you remember how a year ago, a year ago, it's almost a year ago today, we were in the throes of people complaining about Assassin's Creed Shadows, people speculating about how well it would do, people saying how it looks shit. it just keeps this woke train. It's like with Veilguard. It's like we were there not long ago. And we just it just was that. Yeah. Ubisoft confirms is no longer flopped second DLC counts. It is. Fuck Ubisoft is a subreddit. Of course it's a subreddit. Just a 24/7 Ubisoft hate train. Good boycott, guys. I hope they learn their lesson. I mean, people call it a boycott. Yeah, it is a boycott because like a player like me, I see the Yasuke thing and I'm like, oh, really? You're really gonna do that? Well, for what? For what reason? And it's awkward. So I don't buy it, and I don't want to be a part of it. It's stupid. It feels stupid. The idea of playing Shadows seems stupid, but they did it anyway. I hope you really own the CHUD's Assassin's Creed because it didn't work. But yeah, anyways, we win. You'd say fine over for Ubisoft. It's like if this was a successful enough game and it sold like millions and millions and millions of copies above their expectations and they were making tons of money off it, they're gonna keep releasing DLC for this shit for years. That's how it works. They spent so much goddamn money on this game. They would have just kept leeching all that, releasing as much DLC expansion, Gifts of Yahweh and Attack on Titan collab and fucking, this is Yasuke's end game story for $60. Like, they do that. And the fact that they just said, this is costing us too much, like, this is what happened. Like, there's no way to deny this if you're a hater of the Chuds. They saw it wasn't making them much money. They saw it was kind of a disappointment for them. They pulled the plug on the DLC because it's over. Focus on the next project. We're done. We screwed this up. Fuck. Do you think that the people responsible for this shit are gonna go out and be like, sorry, we put a black guy in it, like we ruined what people kind of wanted in a game? But no, they're never gonna do that. They'll never admit failure. That's what these idiots are like. But yeah, we win, Chuds, again. Another game hits the dirt. Stupid woke bullshit.